Hey guys, and welcome to Igloo today. Today we're going to show off our very first Rust base that we have. I actually picked this up on summer sale with only 46 hours. And this is my take to the current patches that we actually have. So the tool cupboards are actually outside and not inside the base. So they actually have to take both tool cupboards in order to grief as a solo player. Now also here, if you have the barricades that are right next to it, it also adds to a distinct advantage. More on that later. But with this kind of design, it's going to be very, very hard for the raiders to get it. Now, there's a double entryway so they can't just door camp in one distinct area. So they come in, boom, shotgun trap in the triangle. Not even going to answer to it. Same thing at the window. So if we die inside our airlock, they won't get our loot. So they would literally have to either pick their way in, blow their way in, just to get through to the airlock. So this is the second story with a shotgun facing down. Turrets inside where the loot is, and I keep it kind of like centralized so that everything is fine. This is the most secured portion of the base. Now we go up, and here is the living quarters. Now you guys can edit this to your discretion. I only put a bed and also a chest in this room right here, but it is able so that you can actually maneuver yourself everywhere no matter what. Now we go up another floor, and then this floor is actually your shooting gallery. So you can actually put your repair bench, you can put like some chests so that you can look down below. I would highly recommend that no matter what, so you can always shoot down below. If you want to put some signs in front of there instead of the actual like shutters, I would also recommend that if you'd like to have those corner shots to protect your heads. Again, difference in taste and design, but then also at the very top, it's also barricaded as well. So if you look right above, we start to climb, it's right there. Now here is the layout of the design. It's literally a 3x1 and then honeycombed on both sides with a triangle doorway on both sides as well. So if they're going to be coming in, they're going to be coming in during one way, then you can counter them another way if need be. If you want to have more entry points, that is on you. Now here, I like putting a trap right at the front door. That's yielded me the most success from door campers. It has helped me so much from those door campers already. Even with only 40 hours in, it's just been super crazy. Now, it's really tricky on how to get these kind of shotgun traps to overlap and interlace, but here's the thing though. You can't let the barrels cross, otherwise they get damage upon each other. So if you actually have this kind of design that you actually have set up specifically, make sure you please do not cross where the barrels are at the very end of the length, because otherwise you damage your shotgun turrets and then you make the purpose completely null and void. Again, placement is everything when it comes to this. If you want to have it completely flush to the actual next door immediately when it's opened, that's the most ideal situation when it comes to actually opening up your first and also your fences. Now, what I have here is I have a rock and then I have a furnace. I use this rock furnace technique so that it can actually protect against getting body shotted, and you can actually peek above the edge so that you can actually get everything done. So this is the second story. The second story is your main room, your loot room. You keep everything up here as much as you can at every single given point. At every single angle, this is what you want to protect. So of course you disguise the middle and you reinforce the hell out of the middle. You want them to think that the loot is either on the third story or the fourth story. Or you get them to try and come in through the bottom if you have everything reinforced at the bottom to actually have that kind of benefactor. Again, it's personal preference and taste. What I chose on this build is everything that I want to have as a fake build would be on the third story. So this is just simple honeycombing and everything else. Myself putting my bag in for the other room. Now what I like to do is in one of the loot rooms, I like to put a turret on the second shelf on the very top. instead of just having it everywhere, especially on a small confined space, so that it can actually give the surprise, the advantage, and everything else like that. The more traps that you have, the more longer that they have to actually go through your whole base, and you can always be able to find different kind of iterations. Now, whenever you're being raided, it's always a time game. So if they're raiding your base, you have to have it so that there's enough time so that counter raiders are coming, whether it's yourself or another group. So if you have enough time and enough spacing between enough traps that counter raiders are coming with a very heavily populated server, I would highly recommend this kind of setup, because as a solo to about 2 to 3 person kind of base, that's what I've been actually working around this base for. It actually is very consistent to everything that you can actually do and everything that you actually need for a small little base like this. It helps so much in the long run whenever you're trying to get all this designing done. Now, again, this is now the third story, so that you actually have everything. Now, I recommend one of these to actually be just all sheet metal. All sheet metal or just another layer of stone. Whatever you want to make sure so that they can't pick through, you want them to go through that way. You want them to think that your loot is in a different position, and you can either A, make this a bunch of bedrooms, or B, just make it into a trap as well. So this is the top story that I'm working on currently, so I can get everything done. Again, it can vary, but this is the style that I agreed with for the way that I play. So I was just like, hell yeah, I can actually get everything done this way. Again, beds are more useful than the world. They're so much better than a sleeping bag. I've noticed this so much. So once you get your room done for yourself more than anything, you should be able to get almost everything done. Now, what I've noticed also, since I'm new to this game and I came in, is that doors can push you out. I know this is a thing because I've seen the dev blogs about it, and they are currently trying to fix it. But at the same time, if you want to do a method like this before it gets patched out, it actually works. And what you do is you have to stand like right next to like a sheet metal wall or a armored wall, and it actually will push you out if you have the right angle, just like right there. So again, it's another way to flank until they actually patch it out, but I'm not going to count on that for designing my bases at all. So again, while showing more of this kind of situation, I'm just like, oh, let me see if I can like duplicate this, which actually I just glitched myself within 3 walls. I'm just like, fuck. I'm so glad I did this on a building server, getting everything else done. Now, my next thing that I'm going to be worrying about is the top layer that we're going to need. Now, the top layer is so that they won't be able to roof camp you or to raid you from top to below. Now, from top to below, you want to be able to put these triangles on and get everything else done in this way. We continue this throughout the whole iteration of our base, putting it on every single side whatsoever and getting it done. Now again, you might need to get your placement done right. It might interfere with the top hatch. If you want to have a top hatch up there, that's awesome. Honestly, I like to have a top hatch so I can be able to do work in different angles. The more angles that you have to versus people that are either camping, raiding, or anything of the sort, the better in my case. Some of them you might want to be wary about your placement, because it's the center mass that you actually need to be on the actual triangle, because if you don't have it on the triangle itself, then you have an issue and then it just destroys itself. So again, you might want to watch out for every single time you try to place this. I had some problems with this, and I was just like, alright, let's get this done, let's get this moving, let's keep working on this, let's try to actually figure this out, and boom, I actually have it there. So again, if you have your TCs properly spaced on both sides like you see here, you won't be able to put a TC in the middle. So what I like doing is that you put little sub bases on the side. Now, if you want to be able to disguise where your stuff is, your main base will be raided. Your small sub bases on the side, probably not going to be raided unless you really piss somebody off. So if you want to hide your loot between the main loot room or the sub loot rooms on both sides where you actually have everything done, whether you do it as a hidden loot room that's underneath like a drop hatch or something of the sort, do it, because it actually will make sense to actually have hidden actual tool cupboard bases that actually have where your main loot is, if you know exactly how to do it and you actually know how the raiders are going to behave while they're actually attacking your base. Now that's just my method. I've been on 3 different servers and I've never had my main loot taken. I've been griefed, never had my main loot taken. Now if you want to add some icing on the cake for these walls and your whole base, I would put these big barricade walls on both sides of the base to actually add just a little bit more protection so that they can't build on a flat flush surface. So it'll force the raiders to actually think about exactly where they're going to be coming from, if they're going to raid tower, if they're going to just blow their way in, if they're going to do something like that. It gives them a forced channel to go through, or actually use the bases on both sides that are the tool covers to build on. So either way, it's going to be used as an advantage to you for the defender. At any time, at any place, that's your distinct advantage that you will have, is because you are the defender. You are the one that funnels the person in, whether it's a trap base, whether it's a little solo build base that I kind of made a hybrid trap base / solo build base here. But again, you can expand this, you can have more beds, you can do it in so many different ways. If you guys like the direction that I'm going to be going for, I'm actually enjoying this game Rust. Right now it's on sale for $9.99 on Steam. I don't earn anything, I just highly recommend the game. If you guys like this kind of content, please like, comment down below, give me some feedback on how I actually do this kind of stuff. And for all of you guys, thank you so much for your support. We just hit 700 subs. I honestly say thank you so much. It really does mean a bunch of stuff from the bottom of my heart. And to all you guys, welcome to the motherfucking igloo, and have a good one today.